Hello everybody and welcome to this week's video. I did a little poll on my Instagram story to see what you guys wanted to see first. The options being the Dagger and the Flame reading vlog, which has been ready to go for about 2 weeks now, or a book haul, because I haven't done one of those since I think February was the last time I gave an update on my book buying habits. And I'm not surprised the book haul won. So I have 27 books here that I have bought across March, April and May, which also includes the books I got for my birthday because I'm a May baby. My birthday was last weekend. So without further ado, I think we should just jump in. These are in no particular order, just whatever order I pulled them off my shelves. And actually the first book I'm going to talk about I did not get off my shelves because it's under a stack of books. I obviously got The Tempest Blade by Danielle L. Jensen. That is the final book in the Bridge Kingdom series, and it is the bottom of the stack on my shelves of that series, so I'm not getting that out because it's too much hassle. But I obviously got that and I have indeed read it. I gave it 5 stars, 6 stars if I could. But as for the books that I have directly in front of me, I literally don't know where to start. There's so many. I'm a little bit stressed here. So I mean, I'll start with the one directly in front of me, which is Rites of Starling by Devney Perry. Now, this is the sequel to Shield of Sparrows. Have I read Shield of Sparrows? No. Did I get the sequel because my mum saw it in a shop and said, that looks like something you'd read, shall I get it for you? And I went, yes, please. So actually my mum, did I pay her back for this? I think I paid her back for it. But this was my mum's doing. It's her fault I bought this. I am actually currently audiobooking Shield of Sparrows. I'm enjoying it, but I think it's premature to buy the sequel, but I have it. So that is book number 2. I'm going to go a little bit out of order now because this stack, like here, is the books I got for my birthday and I want to leave those till last. I don't know if that's a good idea, but I'm going to do that. So the next book I will talk about is another one that I have actually read, and that is The Rebel and the Rose by Catherine Doyle. I was not even correct with that. The Rebel and the Rose by Catherine Doyle. This I picked up because Bestie Cleo requested I read The Dagger and the Flame, which I did, and I loved it so much I bought The Rebel and the Rose. I'm not going to tell you my rating of this one. I have read it, because that would spoil next week's vlog, which is going to be my Dagger and the Flame reading vlog, in which I also read this. I did get the Waterstones edition as well, and I actually bought it in person. For the first time since February, I went into an actual bookshop and I bought The Rebel and the Rose. So, very exciting times for me. Then I have got 2 more books recommended to me by Bestie Cleo. I bought these ones on Vinted, so I actually got them for a really good price. I paid like £7 for both of them. And that is The Hurricane Wars and Monsoon Rising by, it's the author I can't say the name of. I'll just show it to you. I think it's pronounced Theagizan? I don't know. I'm definitely wrong in saying that. But these are both books that Cleo has told me to read time and time again. And I thought, you know what? She's on a winning streak, so I'm going to give it a go. So that is that one. Then not very randomly, if you've been watching my channel this year, you know that I have read Across the Vanishing Sky and All the Missing Pieces by Catherine Cowles, and I have loved both of them. So of course the logical next step is to buy her entire backlist. I have bought most of the Sparrow Falls series. These are ones that I found in a bundle on Vinted, so I bought them all together. And I do have books 5 and 6 on the way because I got a Waterstones voucher for my birthday, which was very nice of people. So I've used that to buy the rest of the series because I couldn't find them on Vinted, which is so irritating actually. But of course I have Fragile Sanctuary, Delicate Escape, Broken Harbour and Beautiful Exile. I don't know anything about this series and I'm going to leave it there. I don't want to know anything. I'm going to do a whole reading vlog of the whole series. I think I'm likely to do that next month because my TBR is getting pretty low, guys, which is crazy because despite the fact I have bought 27 books in the past 3 months, my TBR is only at like 40. Like, it's not particularly high at the moment. So these are the roster of things that I can pick from for the next few months of reading, which is very exciting. I've never been this up to date on my TBR. Right, The next book is another one that I have read. I've done really well actually at reading books as I'm buying them as well. But I got Death Meets Cute by J. Penna. J. Penna, I love J. Penna, don't get me started on J. Penna. I've read the Adenashire series by this author and I love it. It's very cozy fun fantasy. This, very cozy fun fantasy. We are following, I believe, Iris. We're following Iris, who wants to be an evil witch, and she needs a new henchman, like a bodyguard. And when an orc dies in her garden, she's like, perfect opportunity, let's raise him from the dead. But it does go a little bit lopsided when, what is his name, Talon? Talon, oh my god guys, please be proud of me, I never remember names from books. Talon comes back to life and is nothing like a bodyguard. He is like the cutest person ever. I actually love him. I think I gave this a 4-star. I'm looking back on it quite fondly. Maybe it's a 4.25. But yes, I really love this. It's short, sweet, and just so fun. And I got this from my local indie bookshop. So it's actually got like a signed plate in it, which is really fun. Although the signature is kind of lazy. Like, not to judge a signature, but that I could do that. Yes, I really liked this one, and I can't wait for the next book in the Adenashire series because I'm reading them as they are trad published, which means I'm up to book 3. Very exciting. Next up is another one that I have actually read, and that is How to Write a Love Story by Catherine Walsh. I fucking loved this book. It was so unexpectedly good. We're following Kira, whose dad is a very famous author who has passed away without finishing his 10-book-long fantasy series. And so she is tasked with writing the final book. But of course, she doesn't know how to do that. Yes, she's an author herself, but not in the fantasy genre. So her publishing agent ends up sending over Sam, who is like top dog editor, to help her write and edit this book, and it is so sweet. I loved absolutely everything about this. I gave it a 5-star. I gave it a 5-star. I really like this, and I definitely want to check out more of Catherine Walsh's stuff. I feel like bestie Ellen, I think, has read a couple Catherine Walsh books and loved them, so I might ask her for some regs because her channel's not there anymore. Actually makes me want to cry. But yes, I will probably reach out to Ellen and see what other Catherine Walsh books I need to pick up. Then we've got one that I have not read, and that is The Faraway Inn by Sarah Beth Durst. This is the same author as The Spell Shop, which is actually my other current read. I'm doing 2 books at a time because I am moderately in a slump right now. But I don't actually remember anything about this. I literally did just buy it because it was the same author as The Spell Shop. I love the cover as well, actually. And I did get the Waterstones sprayed edge, which is adorable. So let's have a look what this is about. Oh good, the synopsis is not very long. Love to see that. When 16-year-old Calissa arrives at her great aunt's bed and breakfast for the summer, she's shocked to find it run down rather than cozy. Grumpy and eccentric Auntie Z is determined to keep anyone from messing with her beloved inn, even though she clearly needs the help. To convince her great aunt to keep her around, Calissa sets to work fixing up the building, enlisting extra help from the groundskeeper's handsome son, but the longer she stays, the surer she is that there's something strange about the inn and its guests, something almost otherworldly. The inn is hiding a magical secret, but secrets are like doors. Once Calissa opens this one, she won't be able to go back. Okay, it actually sounds really good. It actually sounds very good. I was reading that for a minute, I was like, wait, is this not a fantasy? But it is a fantasy, cool. Yes, I am excited to get to this one. This might be the craziest sentence coming out of my mouth in this video, but to me, it's giving like, I want to read this in the summer. I feel like everyone else is going to be like, no, that's clearly an autumn book, but no. I love a fantasy in the summer, what can I say? I don't want to read dingy fantasies when it's already dingy where I live. Like, I'd much rather read them when it's sunny. Right, another book that I have already read, and that is Rider by Jessica Peterson. This is book number 5 in the Lucky River Ranch series, which we know is one of my favourite cowboy series. I liked this. I think I gave it a 4-star. I did a lot of these I read in 30 books in 30 days, so I don't remember what I rated anything. I think I gave this a 4-star. It is, I will say, my least favourite of the series, but I think that's because it was doing a lot of heavy lifting to set up her next series, which follows Billy, our main girlie's brother Colt. So we've got a lot of setup going on for that, whilst also trying to tie up the loose ends of this series and having that romance for Ryder and Billy. So there was a lot going on, which I think really overcrowded the situation. Like, I didn't need a whole bunch of setup for Colt. I'm going to read that anyway. I've read 5 of your books. Obviously, I'm going to read the next one. Maybe like the epilogue, like you did with all of the other Lucky River Ranch books. Just the epilogue gives away a little sneak peek into the next book. But yeah, so this was a 4-star. I still liked it, but it's definitely my least favourite in the series. I think my favourite is either Wyatt or Sawyer, I think. But I still liked it, and I'm still obviously going to read Colt when that comes out. The next book is a bit of a rogue one. I, a very long time ago now, read the Salinger Brothers series by Carrie Elks, and I loved it. It's great. I refuse to get rid of it because even though I don't think I'll read it again, it feels like one of the early days of my reading. Like, that's a staple of it. So I did pick up her new release, which is Must Have Been Love, and I don't really know too much about this. It says, inheriting a rundown bar from the father who abandoned me should be my chance to start over. Instead, it puts me directly in the path of Hudson Fitzgerald, single dad, small town royalty, and the most insufferable man I've ever met. He's rich, broody, and way too good looking for my peace of mind. Oh, and he wants me gone. But I didn't come here just to tuck my tail and run away. I came to prove I'm not the hot mess everyone thinks I am, even if that means going head to head with Hudson every single day. He thinks I'm chaos in a crop top. I think he's a control freak with a stick where the sun doesn't shine. But beneath all that tension is something else, something electric. And when he kisses me, let's just say, for a man who claims he doesn't do messy, he sure knows how to make a mess of me. I was only supposed to be here long enough to fix up my bar. I never meant to fall for the man who runs this place like he owns it. But in a small town like this, love has a way of sneaking up on you. So it's kind of giving like low-key enemies to lovers. And a single dad. I love a single dad trope. So I am looking forward to reading this. I don't know when I'm going to get to it, but I think it's on Kindle Unlimited as well. So could be one of the random ones that I just pick up on a whim. But I am excited to read this at some point before the end of the year, because that is my next goal, is to finish my entire TBR by the end of the year. Then we've got a couple more that I have already read, and these were also 30 books in 30 days adjacent. So we've got Kitty Sinclair's Last Dance by Kate Robb. This is so good. It's magical realism. Check. We love that. It is following Jules, who works at a care home, and one of her residents passes away, and whilst clearing out her room, Jules finds her diary, and whilst going through the will, Jules has actually left a very rundown building by Kitty Sinclair. And she like reads bits of the diary before going to bed, and then has these really vivid dreams where she's actually in Kitty's life as her best friend. It was just, everything about this was so fun. It had real heart to it as well, like a lot of the interactions with the elderly people, obviously the romance going on. It was just really, really good, and I gave it a 5-star. I think this was so beautiful, and I actually cannot wait to pick up more by Kate Robb. I think she's got another book coming out soon, but I have got one on her backlist that I need to read, and I think it's This Spells Love. I've had it for ages and I haven't read it, but I feel like I need to now because this was so good. Then another one that I have read, and that is Playing with Fire by Cassie Truitt. This is actually another Cleo find, because Cleo was an ARC reader for this and she loved it, and I was like, well, I have to read it now. So this follows Maddox, who is our cowboy, and his younger sister's best friend Austin, who works behind the bar and has an OnlyFans account that Maddox happens to have found. I love that trope. I think it's really fun. It always makes for a fun premise, let's be real. Again, this had some really heavy topics, so read the trigger warnings before you go in. I luckily am not affected by most trigger warnings, so I can just go straight in, and I thought it was done really well. Again, those trigger warnings means it has a lot of heart. I think because it's done well, it really does hit emotionally, and I gave this a 4.5. Now we're on to books that technically are all for my birthday. although I did buy 3 of them myself. So actually one of them is not for my birthday, so we'll go for that one first. This is a book I pre-ordered literally months ago. I forgot I'd done it, and when it arrived today I was like, oh, did I buy that? Yes I did. I got The Roommate Rule by Georgia Stone. It says on the front, 1 cabin, 1 bed, 1 rule, don't fall in love. Yup. So this one follows Dylan and Max. Is it gonna tell me much? Oh, I think they're very different people, maybe? Like Dylan is very type A and Max is very type B. When Dylan's broken up with, she's left reeling with no concrete plans for the first time in her life, aside from the accountancy job she's starting in a few months. Perhaps that's why she finds herself agreeing to a totally off-piste proposition. Share a cabin for the summer with her friend's brother during his all expenses paid travel influencer trip to the pristine Welsh coast. It's not like 6 weeks is long enough to throw your entire life, of course, or anything, right? Okay, yeah, this sounds great. I do remember though, the American cover of this is so much better. Like, this is nice, I like this, don't get me wrong, I love a tattooed man as a tattooed woman, but the American cover is just so gorgeous. I really wish that they didn't change the covers between the US and the UK, because I literally can't fathom why. Oh my god, this artwork. Shut up, that's really cool. You don't get that often in a paperback, I don't feel. That's gorgeous, actually. That should have been the cover. Yeah, so I did pre-order this on myself. But moving on to birthday books, I got 2 from one of my favourite authors, Portia McIntosh. I've got Falling for You and The Breakup Plot. So Falling for You, I think, is actually part of interconnected standalones of... What is the other books called? Oh, I can't even see them because there's a jelly cat in the way. But this is part of the Marambo, like, trilogy of interconnected standalones. So I felt the need to read this one. It says on the front, new town, new start, same chaotic love life. So that sounds very fun. Then the breakup plot says Cara and Millsy have broken up, sort of. After years of being everyone's favourite couple, always up for a party and having fun wherever they go, things have fizzled out. But when they realise they have a whole calendar of events and celebrations with friends and family coming up, Cara and Millsy can't face letting them down. So, I remember why I wanted this one. It's giving Happy Place by Emily Henry. That's why I bought this one. That's why. Right. Explanation time. I buy all of my own books for my birthday, and then I like send my mum a little invoice to be like, here's what you've got me, just wrap it up. So I did buy this for myself, but my mum has paid for it, if that makes sense. Yeah, that's why I picked this one out, is because it was giving Happy Place by Emily Henry, and that is one of my favourites, like top 3 Emily Henry books, but then she's only got 6 books, I think, so relative to the rest of the books I've ever read, Happy Place is one of my favourites. So that is why I wanted this one. Then I actually got an entire series, because why would I not buy an entire series when I haven't read the first one or read from this author before? I actually don't even know what this series is called. Hang on. Is it called Cherry Peak? I think it's the Cherry Peak series by Hannah Cowan. So this is Strung Along, Catching Sparks, Chasing Home, Stealing Sunshine, and Choosing Forever. I just thought these looked really pretty. That's literally that. I mean, which one's my favourite cover, would I say? I mean, that one is gorgeous. Hang on. Chasing Home has a gorgeous cover. I know I really want to read Stealing Sunshine because it's sapphic. Ooh. They're really heavy, actually. So yeah, I don't really know much about this. I know there is at least one sapphic book. I think it is cowboy adjacent, based on the cowboys on the cover. So again, let me know if you want to see a full series reading vlog for this, like I'm going to do with the Sparrowhawk series. I'm not planning to do that, but I can definitely schedule it in if people want to see that, because I think these are going to be a lot of fun, hopefully. Then, the final book that I got as an actual physical book on my birthday was Breaking Point by Mads Rafferty. This is another one that I saw Ellen read, and I was like, okay, I need to pick it up, obviously. This is a hockey romance. Oh my god, the back cover is so cute. Sorry, I just spotted that. That's adorable. It says, falling in love was never part of the plan. Hockey star Grayson Crawford is in hot water amidst grieving a family member he can't seem to pull his act together, threatening everything he's worked so hard for and the team he can't live without. To clean up his image and prove he can change, he agrees to a PR relationship, but there's only one woman he wants by his side. Except Bella Stratford couldn't be a worse candidate. Only recently taking the role of his personal assistant to pay for her mother's medical bills, oh god, this is going to be sad, isn't it? She already has her hands full dodging puck bunnies and fixing Grayson's messes. Not to mention her heart is under strict lock and key after life taught her that men cannot be trusted. But when her mother's health gets worse, becoming Grayson's fake girlfriend is the last solution. In public, they're the perfect doting couple. In private, all those carefully drawn lines are beginning to blur, because the shy, sweet man is not what she expected, and the guarded, caring woman just needs someone looking out for her. And with each stolen glance and tender kiss, their broken hearts might be starting to heal. Stop it. I think this is going to make me cry. Ooh. I'm between like, that's going to make me really sad, and oh my god, I need to read it immediately. Okay, this might have just been bumped on my TBR. And then the final two books I've got to talk about here are ones that I have used vouchers I got for my birthday to pay for. So one of these, oh, don't know what happened to my voice there. One of these is from Amazon, and my mum and dad's friends gave me an Amazon voucher, which I used to get this. And one of them is from Waterstones, which my cousin and her boyfriend got me a Waterstones voucher that I used to buy that one. So I'll start with the Waterstones one. I ended up getting All to Play For by Josie Juniper, which is a Formula One romance. I think it's book 3 in a series, because I've got the other two and I've read the other two. And I love the Formula One, and I have really enjoyed this series so far. So I'm hoping this one is still like living up to the hype. It says, no one has ever had what it takes to catch up to this fierce female F1 driver, but he's determined to try. Okay, oh, okay, yes, I vaguely remember some of these names. Hang on. I think they must be like enemies to lovers then. Like rivals to lovers. Yeah, it sounds really fun, and I love that she's got blue hair. I miss my blue hair. I'm loving the red. Don't get me wrong, loving the red. It's actually faded to be a colour that I was aiming for, which is great. But I do miss my blue hair. I really miss my blue hair, but it was a pain in the arse to keep, so at least the red has stayed for long. And then this is such like a throwback one. I absolutely loved, is it called Merry Christmas? No, The Nightmare Before Christmas. I loved The Nightmare Before Christmas by Sarah Rash. And then I ordered the sequel to it in January. And then it was like, what happened to it? Amazon was basically like, hey, we can't deliver this. It's been seized by the government. And I was like, what do you mean that my little gay romance book has been seized by the government? So I was then like, right, I have to wait for it to be available in the UK. And then it was like, it never came up on Waterstones. I couldn't see it on Amazon anywhere. It was like the book didn't exist. And then I found it, and it was being sold by a UK seller, and of course I had to buy it. So I have Go Luck Yourself by Sarah Rash. I believe this is following the Son of Christmas and the Son of St. Patrick's Day, which just sounds like fun. It says, it's enemies to lovers in this sexy, delightful holiday mashup that pairs the spare Prince of Christmas with the Crown Prince of St. Patrick's Day. Someone has been stealing Christmas joy, and there's only one clue to the culprit, a single shamrock. With Cole busy restructuring Christmas, Chris volunteers to investigate St. Patrick's Day. His cover, an ambassador from Christmas to foster goodwill. What could go wrong? Everything, it seems, because Lachlan, Crown Prince of St. Patrick's Day, isn't happy to host the Christmas Prince. Chris tries to be professional, but at every event they're shoved into across Ireland, Locke is loud, infuriating, obstinate, hot. Wait, hot? Chris might be in trouble, especially when it turns out Christmas's missing magic isn't as simple as a theft. And there's more at work behind Locke too. Can a spare prince unravel this? Or will Chris lose something more valuable than his holiday resources, like his heart? Yeah. Yup. This is definitely high up on the TBR as well. I know it's not Christmas, but it doesn't need to be. I've been waiting for this for months. I'm extremely happy to finally have this in my hands. I am slightly worried that it is not average paperback size, so it's going to look silly next to the original. Like, look at the size difference here, that's just annoying. But I'm so excited to be able to read this finally, because it wasn't on Kindle either. So I've really had to wait for this. This is my most anticipated read possibly of the whole year, just because it's taken me so long to get my hands on it. So with that said, that is the 27 books that I have bought in March, April and May. I know I've got more pre-orders coming in May, but you're going to have to wait until probably August to see the next haul that I do, because I'm not planning on buying that many books again. I went a little bit off the rails in January and February, specifically, very off the rails. May has also gone a little bit off the rails, but it's my birthday, so who cares? But yes, I definitely need to reel in my spending habits, because I don't have a job, so it's kind of hard to spend money that I don't have. But I will definitely still be getting pre-orders and stuff in the post, and I will definitely still be reading them on this channel. So if you want to see more reading vlogs from me, as I said, the Dagger and the Flame reading vlog will be going up next week. I think I've got some form of fantasy reading vlog going up the week after. The Sparrow Falls reading vlog. There's so many things I've got going on. You don't want to miss out. So if you have enjoyed this, please do like and subscribe, comment anything you want to see me read off this list, or if you can see something behind me that you think I haven't read, let me know and I will see if I can fit it into a video soon. And with that said, I will see you next week with another video. Bye!